I finally played it. Soulframe. I've been waiting for this game for literal months now. And now I finally played it, and I have some thoughts. It is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's actually so much more. So let's get into it. Stay until the end if you want to know exactly what to expect. If you are a beginner in, almost said Warframe. No, it's Soulframe. Not to be confused with DE's other masterpiece. This one is entirely different. This one is extraordinary, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, but it's not all sunshine and roses so far. So let's get into it. Right, Soulframe. So I got the game. Well, actually, I got the game like a few weeks ago. That's not the point. I moved, okay? I couldn't play the game. I really wanted to, but I couldn't play the game. By the way, have you guys had that feeling where you get a game that you really, really want to play, but there's just no way that you can actually play the game? Like there's nothing you could do. You just have to sit and wait. It is probably the most irritating feeling and agitating feeling that you can have as a gamer, of course. In any case, Soulframe, let's get into it. I started up the game thinking this is going to be an interesting Souls-like game. Oh, how wrong I could be. Hey, that's the same as my short. Any case. So I started up the game. It automatically started with the cinematic. After I logged in, of course, it automatically started with the cinematic. And it just threw you in the deep end. It starts off with this weird story about, I'm guessing it's your mother, and for some reason you can customize how your mother looks, and I'm getting that that's probably going to be like later in the game. Either way, I did it. I kind of customized my mother, what I'm guessing is my mother, and it just threw me into like the future all of a sudden, and you kind of customize your own character somewhat. There's not a lot of customization, not like, for example, the Drifter in Warframe. All right, it's not the same. I thought it was going to be the same, but it's not exactly the same. It might change though, so don't take my word for it just yet. In any case, it throws you in, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be an interesting Souls-like game. And I was wrong, like I said just a while back, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why. I started it off. First of all, the game doesn't tell you how to do anything. Well, it does, but it takes a while. It doesn't have like a tutorial or something, which is fine, and I kind of expected that because the game is still heavily new. It just, you can't expect anything else. It's so new that there isn't the basic mechanics to learn like a new player how to play the game. But don't worry, almost all of the controls are kind of like, I don't know, basic or something, so you don't have to worry too much about that. It did irritate me though, because there's a few places in the game, especially in the beginning, where you could do something, but just because you don't know how to do it or what to do or that you should be able to do something, nothing happens. And luckily I streamed while I was playing this game for the first time, so I had some help. I had some people saying, hey, you know, you can press this button and do this. You can press this button and does this. You can kick the door down or whatever the case may be. And when I say people, I mean one person, Mayhem. It was the only person. Mayhem told me how to do all of these things. So thank you so much, Mayhem, for actually taking the time. You are a phenomenal legend. And I hope to see you again on the next stream. In any case, with that out of the way, why do I say this is not a Souls-like game? Well, first of all, Souls-like games have a very specific pattern that they follow, like a way that you play. The gameplay, it feels a very like a specific way. You get to a fight, you kind of not lock on, but you can't probably lock on, but you kind of lock on to that one person, and you have to learn the patterns, kind of dodge when you need to dodge, and then just like it has this like almost a rigid fighting system that feels somewhat realistic. This game, it doesn't have that. It has a form of that, but like I said in the short, this game feels a lot more like a mix between The Witcher's gameplay style, where you can kind of dodge and roll and block and stuff like that, and Skyrim or Oblivion, or like an Elder Scrolls type game, right? It is more like fluid, I can almost say. It's not as rigid as a Souls-like game would be, but it does have some Souls-like elements. And I'm going to get to that like in a split second. Okay, not a split, in a while, in a little while. Then anyway, this game, it took me by storm. I didn't expect to enjoy it this much. And The crazy part about it is, because it's like a multiplayer game where you can play with friends and stuff, you have this whole new way of playing the game. But I didn't play it like that. I took the single player experience route, and it's interesting because it doesn't feel like this is supposed to be a multiplayer game or a game that allows multiplayer mode. It just feels like I'm playing a game like Skyrim. Obviously, one of the big things that sets us apart from a game like Skyrim is probably the graphics and the gameplay. Like, DE has done so much of a great job when it comes to graphics. And I think it's all thanks to Warframe, to be honest. Like, all their experimentation and stuff like that, and the improving the engine and the game and everything like that, it all came down to Soulframe. And this game looks amazing. For a game that technically isn't released yet, this game looks absolutely phenomenal. Performance-wise, at least for me, it works amazingly. This game, 1080p, yes, I have upscaling DLSS, on quality mode at least, and everything else set to like high. It's all cranked up. It's all cranked up, and I capped it at like 75 FPS, right? And I'm actually getting that 75 FPS in most cases. Sometimes it drops to the like late 60s, 68, 65, around about. But I don't really feel it all that much, because 60 FPS in a game like this is more than enough. It's really more than enough. If you need more than 60 FPS, it's a luxury. I don't care what you say, it is a luxury then. When it comes to a game like this, when you're playing a multiplayer game where it's like fast-paced and you need to have precision shooting, like Counter-Strike, for example, all right? Then yes, I can see why you need a lot more FPS. All the little bit of FPS, it actually counts. The latency, it counts. But in a game like this, where it almost feels like a single-player experience, you don't need it. You don't actually need it, and the game just works fine. Now, I've got a friend, he has a 4090, which is obviously one of the kings of the CPU world. He says he's struggling. The game dips every now and again, and it does weird stuff, and he's even playing the game on medium now, which is weird to me. I would actually like to see if I can figure something out for him, and I probably will in the future, and then I'll make a video about it, and you know how it goes, you know, right? You exactly know how it goes. So I'll figure that out, but for me at least, game works fine, visuals are amazing, the gameplay is fun, the story is phenomenal. I mean, obviously, we all joke around and say DE is like a music studio, but it does feel like that. From the first moment you start the game, there's like songs on songs and cinematics, and it almost feels like a movie at some points. And then you have like these, I don't know, note things that you have to do in the game, where it's like 4-5-1, 4-5-1, and it kind of gets you into that boss fight, the first boss fight. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to give you like any details. It feels harmonic almost, if that's the right word. I think it's the right word, probably. In any case, what do I not like about the game? There are a few things, like one or two at least. First of all, like I said, they don't tell you how to do anything in the game, at least not in the beginning, as they should. And that is usually because the game is too new. It doesn't have a tutorial or introductory way to play the game like most other games do. They just throw you in and then sometimes remember, oh wait, I should probably tell you how to do this. I should probably tell you how to do that. And that's fine. I get that. It's okay for now. At least I had some help, so that is okay. I'm pretty sure you can obviously go to your settings and see the controls and stuff like that, but they didn't tell you like you can use soul mode or you can go to your tent. I'm just saying this to not spoil anything, by the way, so don't get tilted because I'm using the wrong words or whatever the case may be. Okay, just relax. Just relax. So that's probably one of the big things that I don't like too much. Because if I have to figure out what the mechanics of the game are, how am I going to get time to play the game while figuring out the mechanics without the game telling me how to do some of the basic stuff that's like not as basic? Like obviously you know how to block, it's right click. You know how to like attack, it's left click. Middle mouse click is heavy attack by default. You got your WASD, your spacebar, your control, all the normal stuff. But they don't tell you that you can like do a stealth kill where you can sneak up behind an enemy and then left click to stealth kill. They don't tell you that you can go into soul mode, which I'm not going to tell you what that is just because I don't want to spoil the game. If you want me to do like an in-depth on how all these stuff works, let me know in the comment section down below. Also like the video. Like I'm seeing you just watching this without liking. Cringe. Just Thank you. No, that would be cool. Thank you. Any case, they don't tell you how to, or for the fact that you can kick down doors until a little bit later on. They don't tell you, I don't know, they don't tell you a lot of things, right? I had to figure out a bunch of different stuff, or you have to pay really close attention. And for somebody like me that like basically has ADHD, attention isn't my strong suit. Attention isn't, the biggest thing with me. So it's a little bit difficult. In any case, overall, what do I think about Soulframe? I just played it for like an hour and a half. I got to the first boss fight. That's what I've done so far. So I still have a long way to go. What I think about this game is it's freaking amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. The potential in this is humongous. And if DE actually goes on to build this game like they built Warframe over the years, I can see this game becoming one of the biggest games of all time in its genre. By far. I will play this game for years and years and years if they just go the right route and actually work on this. On a side note though, there's one thing that I want to ask DE themselves. I'm guessing they're probably not going to see this video, but one thing I want to ask you guys. What's up with the spaceship, man? A bit uncomfortable with, the lightning and the spaceship. I thought this was more fantasy medieval. You just had to bring the spaceship in. Why? Why? In any case, if you guys enjoyed this small little breakdown and I don't know, what do you call this? Like I can't remember the word. Comments about the video game thing? I don't know. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel. I'm so close to 10,000 subs, and I'm going to do a lot more like breakdowns on what I think about games and stuff like that. So tutorials, tips, everything in between. I don't know. I struggle to find exactly what I want to do and what I need to do. I just do whatever I feel like I'm doing, and it kind of works sometimes. So stick around if you want to stick around for the journey on that. With that being said, I'm going to leave you with one last question, as I always do, and that is, by the way, this is a prop. Do you want to play?